flow. Welcome to Hack and Slash, a D&D 2E podcast, where we talk about Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition, our favorite version of D&D.
It appears kind of in the 90s, and we still play and still love it. We don't know why, but it's the best one.
Yeah, we're very nostalgic for this era, so we talk about all things related to it. We hope you enjoy.
Yeah, much fun.
Yeah, good times come and good times go. I only wish the good times would last a little longer. I think about the good times we had and why they had to end. So I sit at the edge of my bed, I strum my guitar, and I sing an outlaw love song, thinking about what you're doing now and when you're coming back. Life goes by so fast. You only want to do what you think is right. Close your eyes, and it's past. Story of my life.
Nice! I love it.
You know that
for sure, man. Story of my life, but I was not pretty sure. I think it's Bad Religion, right? Is it Bad Religion?
Welcome to Hack and Slash, AD&D 2E podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition. We start each episode with a little quote. And we take turns. Today is my turn. I had to quote from... I always do rock lyrics. That's my... I want to stick to that. Yeah. And that was Social Distortion.
Social Distortion, of
Story
course.
of my life. Bad Religion, Social Distortion. They're like two confusable bands.
Yeah, I think
for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know why, but yeah, it's true.
They're kind of like...
But both are so good.
They both
it's so melodic, both. And super cool song. And super fitting to the episode.
Our episode topic today is Love and Luck.
It's number 9, I think.
Episode 9.
Number 9, wow.
And Social Distortion has a lot of songs about love and luck, particularly Bad Luck. They have a song called fucking Bad Luck. I thought about doing that. But I was like, there's something about that song, Story of My Life, that is like... it's just one of my favorite songs of all time. And when I felt in love in my life and have lost love in my life, I was playing music and street busking for a long time, and that song that's very special to me. Even just yesterday, I started playing it while I was just doing the dishes, and it's made me real emotional. I was playing it today on the guitar, and I was like crying. It still has this effect on me.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a little
emotional. It's the emotional month, huh?
I'm not a little bitch. I'm not afraid to cry. Little bitches are afraid to cry.
I can't cry so good. I always want to cry, but when I can cry, it's on songs or on good TV shows like Lord of the Rings or so. You know,
Lord of the Rings is sad as fuck.
And this friendship thing, you know, in Lord of the Rings between Frodo and Sam. You know, it's like, it always brings me to cry in the movie. You know, like when I watch the movie, I always have to cry. But I'm a fucking man, really. Like I'm kind of retarded with crying. You know,
okay, you always saying the word retarded. Bad start, Flo, to the podcast again.
I have to do it. I'm sorry. It's my thing. You know,
it's your signature.
It's my signature move.
Way to make people not want to listen to this. Cool.
Come on, guys. We are in the 90s. We can say whatever we want.
NPC.
Yeah.
Non-player character. Not politically correct.
Yeah, that's our thing.
It's
February. It's fucking Valentine's Day month, and that's why we decided to talk about love and charm.
But this launches at the end of February, so Valentine's Day is over when you're hearing this.
Good luck.
We're bad at timing.
Yeah.
We're not, you know.
And normally we are really bad at timing. Normally we record on a Friday. Today is Thursday. Whatever.
Who gives a shit about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Me. Maybe. So talk about love and luck. I wanted to ask you at first again, as I sometimes do, a little question. What do you love the most about the D&D?
What do I love about D&D?
The most, yes.
The most?
I mean, in the world, or as a player, or as a dungeon master, or in general, you know, like what is a thing what you love the most about maybe the game, the rules, whatever, you know, whatever comes in your mind or in your feeling. I think more in your stomach, not in your mind, or in your heart, you know, what is it? What is it?
I think that's cool, because that puts me, like, plugs me in to be directly on point, kind of with what I want to discuss today about the topic of love and luck and, dare I say, lust. We already discussed we're going to get into lust.
For sure.
We were like, I texted you the other day. I'm like, dude, we're probably going to talk about sex a lot in this episode, huh? Because I mean,
no
love,
way.
you know,
No, it's not possible. Love and sex has nothing to do with each other. You know. Wait.
about platonic love in D&D. It's about the kind of love Frodo and Sam have.
Yeah,
Oh wait, that
it's
was
just-
sexual.
Yeah, totally gay sex.
Or was it? I don't know. Very ambiguous. Well, thing is, yeah, dude, like I think that the fantasy world is for some reason, particularly medieval fantasy, although also sci-fi and other genres of fantasy, like they plug us in, they plug our imaginations in, I think, to the same thing that like gives the same part of our brain, the same part of our imagination that sort of stimulates erotic fantasy too, and love fantasies, and you know, so visiting like when I was a kid, when I was like a teenager getting into Dungeons and Dragons, you know, when I was a young teenager, I was like, yeah, you're you know, that horrible age when you're like, oh my God, I'm have boners all the time. I got to cover it with a book. And, the girls are so, God, fuck their boobies. And,
Always
yeah.
wet dreams. Damn it again.
but you're having these fantasies about these girls, and then you're also, or, you know, whoever, or guys, if you're, whatever your persuasion is, but like you're then, I feel like that this world of imagination, I've just always loved it, dude. I've always loved going there. I've always been a very imaginative person.
Escapism, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
totally-
not necessarily, but I never thought of it as escapism. I think for now in my life, now I'm in my 40s, definitely there's an element of escapism. But back then it was just really, I loved growing up with action figures, with Lego, you know, with all these different things that cultivate the imagination and foster and develop it. And I've grown up into a creative person. You know, I'm an actor and a working tour guide, and I play in a band and stuff and write songs, and that's all in that imagination world. That's where all that comes from. And D&D is like is like this kind of fuel. In fact, I watched this Lord of the Rings documentary once that was called Ringers, and it's about the movies and the fans of Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And there was this dude on there who had a really ridiculous accent, a British accent.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the locality of UK it was, but he was like, to paraphrase him, he goes, the fantasy is sort of like training wheels for the brain, and they make your brain exercise in a way so that you can do more complex things and think about big
right.
problems.
I
But-
think he's right.
Yeah, and
So
I totally am
you
like,
know?
that's how I feel about it. I feel like Dungeons and Dragons, when I'm in that imaginary realm that's like completely not real, and we all know it, you know, then I'm
When
like,
you're not Tom Hanks and
we're not Tom Hanks' Amazing Monsters. We're not people who believe in the Bible and other people who believe in fictional things are real. But like, we
I
like,
just believe in the Lord of the Rings.
but, yeah, I mean, Frodo's real, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
celebrate his birthday every fucking September.
Jesus Frodo, right?
Frodo died for your sins.
Frodo Jesus Baggins.
Jesus, Frodo, Christ.
Yeah, cool.
But
Yeah.
that's what I love the most about D&D is that even today, at the end of the day, I used to have a lot of problems going to sleep. I had some pretty severe sleeping problems most of my life. I could not get to sleep from like age 13 till about 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And now I found that like to shut my brain off from thinking about all the things that stimulate it,
The problems in the real world.
the problems in the real world, the problems in my life, and also like just things, just random shit, like memories, like, you know, before bed you're thinking about like some stupid thing you said 20
first
years
burp.
ago, thinking about burping, like a fucking
Burping
oaf.
asshole in the Hack and Slash podcast all the time.
Yeah, well, I find that now when I think about my next move in my D&D campaign as a DM, and trying to imagine what world I'm gonna create, like for our next session right now,
It's
for
like
example.
counting sheeps, kind of.
Yeah, it's like counting sheep a little bit for adults, for a more fostered brain,
Yep.
and like That's what I love about it, dude. I love the imagination. I love when we're playing D&D. I mean, combat's fun. I like the dice and stuff. That's a blast.
The rules and blah blah.
And that's a super fun part. I do love that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but I think what I love more and what I love the most is when there's like role playing and we're talking about the world, and like when I play in your campaign and you're discussing like what the what are the kind of politics of the regions of the realm and stuff, and
the lore
and the description of the description of the universe and all that imaginary is like, it's like I love the fact that it's an interactive story, and so it's like when you read a book or whatever, but you're just reading it out loud with your friends and making up as you go along. I just love that so much.
Yeah. Totally,
it's so cool.
Totally get the point. It's kind of the same by me, you know. I mean, I also thought about this question, of course, what I love the most, and it's kind of the same as this escapism you say in English. So, and it's also like, I just like to play games, you know, and that's a huge game that will never end, you know. That's so great, and I love that I always discover new stuff, even in the second edition, you know. Like last week I got this Wizard spell cards set, you know, and I love it.
I can't believe you got a hold of Wizard spell cards second edition online. They're still
you know,
slanging those online these days.
And I never had that, you know, and I'm now like over like 30 years playing, or like around 30 years now. It's like 30 years now. How old I am? Like 20 years.
How old are you?
Whatever.
Physically, not mentally. You're much younger.
Yeah, but
mentally, I know.
Since I'm 15, I'm playing this game, and still I figure out new stuff that I can still buy, you know, and that's so rad. So it's still growing, this whole game, and I love the creativity behind the game, of course, you know, like building a world, building maps, building dungeons, creating maybe own monsters, creating stories, you know, and develop worlds which others create, like you as a dungeon master, and I can see this world and can have adventures in this world and have relations to other characters in the world, you know. If it's NPCs, like we are fucking NPCs now.
If you're not politically correct and you're just throwing around the word retarded like it's fucking 1999.
You said it also. Fuck off. Whoa,
yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I'd say it sometimes too. It's
hard words here on the podcast.
Doesn't mean it's okay.
I hope we don't get deleted because of that shit that you said. No, I think when a U.S. citizen said that, it's not allowed.
Yeah, people in the U.S. are definitely way more sensitive about language, but
they are not so much in love.
They're not in love with being mean to people, I guess. So that's kind of cool, really.
Yeah, we Germans love that. And what I also love about D&D is really like this in what it brings in the real world. It's like this socialism, that you are sitting together with a bunch of people. Mostly are friends, I hope, you know, and or at least cool guys where you have a good time with most of the time. Sometimes not, but when it's your regular group, then it's mostly friends or people that you like, and it's a cool time, you know. So, and I really love like this escaping from the reality, and I love that as a child also. When I started D&D, I was always like building like models, like minis and model kits, and reading fantasy books and blah blah blah. And then I figured out D&D, and I love that shit, you know, and I always and I think I will love it forever, you know. It's an ongoing love story, and I will love that more than everything else, you know, even my wife. Whatever.
Whoa,
you know.
buddy.
She
I
knows
doesn't
that.
Listen to this.
She knows that. She knows that. You know, D&D first, and some other things second, and then she maybe third or so.
That reminds me of that video where the guy gets the badass gaming table built for him and gifted to him, and then the host of the little YouTube videos like, would you say that this is the best day of your life? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, would you say it's better than your wedding day? He's like, yeah, but don't tell my wife.
Oh, damn it. It's on YouTube.
It's on you. He actually doesn't watch YouTube. Like, your wife doesn't listen to this.
But my wife doesn't listen to that, but she know it also, you know, like she married me because of, not because of, but she married me with this knowledge that D&D is my biggest love, you know, and toys and miniatures and painting and art.
Yeah.
And friends, and then maybe she.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're brutal.
Music. Music is also really important. Yeah, I'm brutal and honest. So
I think D&D is something I've loved consistently also, dude, for, I mean, I mean, I like a lot of the same stuff I liked when I was cultivating my interests in my teenage years, and as we've discussed on this podcast several episodes. But like, I think probably D&D. I don't know, dude. The punk rock music, honestly, I might love that a little more than. It's tough. Do you like punk rock music or D&D more? Which do you like
I
better?
mean, I would throw there a third thing also inside.
What?
Comic books.
Yeah, I can easily say I like D&D and punk rock music better in comic books.
Really?
Yeah, they're a third. But I don't know which one's first.
I think they are similar and they belong to each other, you know?
Yeah, they're all
for
the
me,
same.
You know, for me, it's the same.
Yeah.
To play D&D, it's for me totally punk rock. And to listen punk rock is not D&D, but whatever, you know? Like, it's also escaping from the real world, you know? Like, not really, because punk rock is so often based in the real world and singing about the real world problems, but also about love.
That's why I think we discussed in our music episode, like, why metal music is usually way more associated with D&D, because I think the genre of metal is like always talking about crazy, you know, fantastical shit,
sci-fi shit,
and dragons and stuff. But then punk rock, it's a little more like fighting the power. But what are you doing in D&D? You know, you're usually fighting against an evil power. It's like this metaphorical parallel to
totally.
I mean, in my campaign, as you know, like I very, very much connect the real world events and climate anxiety and the rise of fascism in the real world with what's happening in the campaign world. Yeah.
I think that's our style of DMing, you know, that we always put like real world stuff into like this fantasy world.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm saying. Like with this guy, this old professor man, what I was saying on the Lord of the Rings Ringers documentary is that it was like. It's all a metaphor, all this fantasy stuff. When you're reading Lord of the Rings, you know, like whatever, you're kind of creating your own. It's a parallel universe in some ways to the way you're kind of seeing the real world, and you know what I'm saying. The villains of the world and the heroes of the fantasy world, you can then liken to the real heroes and villains of the real world. You know, so in that way, it's punk rock.
Totally.
Like,
kind of.
It's not explicit. Punk rock's a lot more explicit. It's not like using dragons as a metaphor like metal music does, but it's like you're being a punk a lot of times in the D&D game.
The difference for me in that is when I listen to punk rock, and when I listen then to the vocals, to the lyrics, then it's so often that I think about like the ways of the world right now and the humans in the world. When I'm playing D&D, I don't think about so much about the real world. You know, even if I realize in my brain like that what we're playing there is kind of like imagination of the real world problems, but still it's D&D and everything is possible and here's magic and blah blah blah. I can use magic and I can throw a lightning against the dragon, whatever, you know. It's not possible in the real world. I mean, okay, kind of, you know.
I wish I could throw lightning against dragon in the real world.
I can throw.
God damn, you're fucking moron. Why'd you bring the pop gun? Shooting me with a pop gun all fucking night.
That's what was a lightning.
It makes me want to punch you so bad.
That was a lightning.
I fucking hate this shit.
Me too.
It's like Bender in Bender's game. Lightning bolt. He's throwing shit at people.
I bought today a Nerf gun and I bought it with me. I love it today, whatever. And what I also love about D&D, of course, I have to say that is I met you. And because of punk rock and because of D&D, we had this relationship getting grows even faster and bigger, I thought, or I think, you know. Like,
yeah, but are you Frodo or are you Sam out of our friendship?
I think I mixed it up sometimes. I think
depends on the day.
I think I'm more Frodo because you are a better cook than me.
Yeah, I also feel like I'm. That's what I was thinking too. I mean, I just think I'm more. I just want to see what you say first, but I agree. I think I'm more like to Sam.
Yeah, cool. Fist bump on this. Then I'm the fucking Frodo. Damn.
Also, I just admitted that I cried when I was playing a Social Distortion cover today. So Sam is definitely crying a lot more than Frodo. You know?
Yeah, true. Yeah, and I'm the ringleader. I have this ring around my penis. I what?
Still haven't opened a beer with it though.
Yeah,
it's an ongoing gag for a podcast.
Yeah, I still didn't do.
Open a second beer. No,
yes, yeah.
We do drink on this, but we start this podcast with having drank nothing, and then
Yes.
we drink more beer as it
Yeah,
goes.
that's our topic theme thing.
That's
topic
what we.
theme thing,
That's
whatever.
part of the fun.
Yeah. Totally.
But you brought up something that made me that plugs into my kind of thoughts on love in D&D, like the idea of in the D&D game, the
Yes.
way that characters have romantic relationships and sexual relationships, and you'd mentioned that, like, oh, dude, hopefully, when you're playing at the gaming table, you're comfortable enough with everybody that you're having fun and stuff. But I always think it's weird because, like, when we grew up in the 90s and we're playing D&D, it was just with our friends. And when you're with your friends, you know your friends, and then you have this connection, where your limits are. You can make jokes and you
Yes,
can make
totally.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so crazy in the last few years as I've been living in Berlin and tried to get in some gaming groups and gotten into some gaming groups. It's like the people, nobody knows each other, and that's fucking weird. And
it's true.
I think it's for me, part of the fun of D&D is that
Just
camaraderie
getting loose,
with your friends.
Fuck off. You can
And-
say whatever you want
Yeah.
and don't care.
I think it's weird. I don't like this brave new world of the 2020s where people are like ridiculously fucking sensitive about a bunch of stupid bullshit.
Oh, it's so
and
boring.
so
Yeah.
like I actually looked this up online before we left, before we recorded this, and like said, I googled like romance in D&D, and there's all these fucking little descriptions on the Google search about like the rules of romance at the D&D table.
I
And it's
also
like,
found the same shit.
Did you see that too?
Yeah, I
What
saw
in the
that too.
living
I also
motherfuckballs?
googled up like love and romantic in D&D, and then like and
It's like, make sure people aren't uncomfortable.
yeah, whatever,
It's
like-
like, dude, go stick your thumbs up your ass, you little bitches. Jesus
so,
Christ.
but I also found some cool links, and I also sent them to you like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Like 4
You
or
send
5.
so many, dude.
Yeah. But
don't know
like
if I looked at 'em.
by 2 or 3 things I sent it to you as an email. I don't know if you checked that, but there was pretty good sites also, like what is romantic in D&D, how can you play with like relationship in
Yeah.
D&D, like normal, and not like how you have to because it's 21st century and be
'Cause it's 2020s and everyone's a little
blah,
bitch and a
blah,
fascist.
blah. So fuck off, come on.
Yeah.
And if you want to bang a girl, then say it.
Yeah, they go.
You know?
Well,
Fuck
I
off.
mean, there is the classic horny bard thing. I mean,
Yeah,
that'll
true.
never go out of. I think that's like, no matter what generation it is or
Mm.
what edition of the game it is, like ever since they introduced the bard class,
Yeah,
it's always been this thing
it's
where
also-
everyone's like,
it's also
"What
in
a
the movie,
stupid
you know,
motherfucker!"
it's also in the movie, so
yeah,
that's so cool.
It's like-
And that's why I love the music, the movie also so much.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so 90s also, like brings up all that shit. It's so
but
cool.
I think that the idea that you would have to, because of the very overly sensitive little bitch culture of today, you would have to edit out any potential romantic or sexual relationships from your gaming table because you don't know the people you're gaming with.
yeah.
I think that's a tragedy. I think it's
totally.
horrible, and I think it's a sign of some really really heavy fascistic shit. Like, I'm gonna get into this, dude. Like, it is like this. Everyone's likening kind of this era to the early 1930s in Germany, you know? And I think there's all these different signs that it is like that. And one of them, a very small one, just one of the little grains of the big sand pile, is this idea that, like, you can't really be open with sexuality and romance at a gaming table with some people because they're going to be offended.
Or being shy.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, like, it's... the thing is, I have right here The Princess Bride, the book. And The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
For people in the U.S. of my generation, it was like a part of our consciousness.
Okay.
It is like we all grew up with it. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, you grew up with Princess Bride. And the theme of this movie...
I'm not sure if I know that. Maybe if I know the German title of it.
The Princess Braut? Prinzessin Braut?
I don't think so. German makes it always stupid, like
Yeah, it'll be
really,
like,
really like
Wesley die Pirata.
yeah, like
Wesley die Pirata.
like switching the names so badly.
They always bring the name.
and then like make it like that already the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's
the Titanic will sink.
Yeah, or
So or whatever. You know,
Hamlet
like-
will be called, and then they all died.
Yeah. Like, why you don't put just a regular name there, like
But the-
original, whatever. You
So
know?
The Princess Bride,
Right,
man, it's a very romantic movie.
Okay.
And in the movie,
It's a fantasy movie?
Yeah, it's a
or-
fantasy, and one of the reasons it's a really good movie, I learned this after I read the book, is the guy who wrote the book.
Pass me the book while you're
The
talking, please.
guy who wrote the book here,
By the way, we have-
William Goldman.
We have this diorama again, as we do always, and today he and Jake, like, what's your name here in the podcast? Slash.
I'm Hack, you're
Hack.
Slash.
I'm Slash.
Don't confuse that shit.
we brought today like stuff that we love in the fantasy worlds and blah blah, and he passed me now the book.
Yeah, so check it out, man. Like, so William Goldman, the guy who wrote this, he also he was really heavily involved in writing the screenplay and the development process of the movie, which is very different for Hollywood. Usually they get in a bunch of people that destroy the original work and turn it into total shit. But like, because the author of this book was so involved in the movie actually
As Florin,
yeah,
it's kind of
yeah,
my name.
it basically like really stuck true to the original book, you know?
Yeah.
And the theme, it's romance. It's again, as I mentioned, the fantasy world has these connections with your erotic imagination, and that's why like there's these the best-selling novels, you know, the books that sell the most are usually these books for horny housewives that are about pirates and stuff.
True, yeah.
And Princess Bride is like a little bit like touches on that kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's so much better than not that, and it's really a good piece of work, unlike
I
kind
have
of those
to read
trash
it.
novels.
I never read it, so
And
I don't know.
dude, we'll watch the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, me and you are watching the goddamn movie at some
how
point.
old is it? From
I
when
think
is
it's from '87, if I'm not incorrect. I'm pretty good with movie years. That's maybe, I don't know if it's autism or something, but
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
probably. I think 1987.
Yeah, okay.
It's,
1987.
87.
Oh, nice, okay.
And so, but dude,
Maybe I know that also. I'm not sure because as I read now the first line of the back of the back cover, it was like with his pirates and the princess and blah blah. So maybe
it's got a pirates and a prince. It's like so it's a little bit like, but it's kind of like it's almost like a satire of that genre, but it's also very deeply romantic. And I think that it's like
who's the director of the movie? Do you know?
I don't know the director, man. I should. That's something I should know. I don't know.
Whatever. Okay.
I just know like the actors there. I was actually taking an acting survey. I got into an actors group, and they asked what's your top influences, that your favorite performances. I listed Princess Bride. I was like,
cool.
You know, they're character actors, kind of, but they're also very. They evoke emotions out of you. It's brilliant. Like, it's just fucking brilliant. But like the thing is with the romance in this story is that it really, really, I think, is one of the stories that ties together that romantic element of fantasy and makes it brilliant and cool.
I never thought about you as a romantic guy as till you met your wife, and I saw pictures of you with your wife, and then I figured here's a romantic guy also. So I think you are totally.
You were hanging out before I met her. I was just talking about titties all the time.
Yeah.
She seemed like a lowbrow piece of shit.
Just like a 14-year-old horny guy, you know,
Stupid
like
motherfucker.
So like
stupid
just,
white man.
So just want to bang everybody, you know, like every girl around, you know, with big titties, it's mine.
Who doesn't?
So, yeah,
that's
who
the
doesn't?
thing.
It's right.
It's voicing that part of the male personality.
You are totally honest, and that's and that's what I love. But you're also romantic. You
I
know?
am.
So
and I love that. But
and me too. You know, like, and I love this candlelight shit, and I love all, and I love like this cozy hanging together with your wife. You know, like it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
whatever.
nice, dude.
And but in D&D, I think I never really had like a romantic as a player. With my as a character, I think I never had like a relationship or like a romantic thing to a other player character. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that's an interesting.
We should try it with our campaign. You should bang Michael's ugly elf character.
I'm not gay.
You could be. You just experiment with
true.
him. I don't know.
I'm a turtle boy.
Your turtle girlfriend went into outer space. So.
I love, by the way, my turtle, and that's why I brought my turtle character with me today here, my Rico.
But dude, so the thing is, I was getting to here with the Princess Bride is that it's really sad and tragic if that really beautiful element of a fantasy story and a big part of it, very, very punctuated there. The beautiful element, blah. of the fantasy story is
Totally planned.
You are the beautiful element of this podcast.
Yeah, I am.
But like if
Shame that people can't see me.
if we're on Instagram, homie.
True.
Check out our Instagram. You can see Flo's face as he's burping.
Oh, we have to make pictures from that. Then. Okay, sorry.
Princess Bride is like this is romance. Even like other fantasy stories have romance and to feel forced to omit that from your gaming table, that potential for that kind of story because of this kind of strange and 21st century separation and discomfort and
everybody wants to be in individuals, like, and I want to make my thing and I don't want to be in a relation with the other and blah 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 blah. I think that develops into the game even more, like I want to make my thing there and I don't want to have this big relationship to other player. But I think as an idea, it's so cool.
But romance is a big part of the fantasy genre.
Totally, of course.
Even in Lord of the Rings.
I mean, even in Conan the Barbarian,
yeah,
so.
He got a little rapey at the beginning, but
but with the Red Sonja in the second movie.
Yeah, second movie. That one was better. Yeah, he wasn't that wasn't so NPC, was it? But even in Lord of the Rings, which like has pretty much zero romance for most of it, they had this beautiful. He wrote the whole chapter about Eowyn and Faramir. And her feeding him soup and stuff.
And also like Aragorn and
in the books they didn't do that so much. In the movies they did Aragorn and Arwen, but in the book there was literally an entire chapter that was just the romance between.
It's such a long time ago that I read Lord of the Rings. I have to read it again.
Yeah, I think that was Tolkien's Tolkien. No pun intended. It was Tolkien's Tolkien romance chapter.
We talked.
Hardcore. But yeah, like I also think that like I wouldn't ever want to feel like I'm at a gaming table and that if I my character, if I'm role playing as somebody who might potentially have a sexual or romantic encounter or attraction to anybody, be it a player or an NPC in the game, I would never want to be with a group that would feel like that's not okay. That's fucked up.
Yeah. And I think in our group it's fine, like, I mean, I have Rico.
Oh, our group's our friends. Yeah, it's just our friends, so we can totally always be like that.
And Rico has like Shelly.
Your character has an NPC, it's played by me, and has a girlfriend.
And I had the best sex scene ever in a role play.
Explain it to the viewers, listeners.
It was so intense and beautiful, like we were in this.
You describe it in detail while I get another beer.
So we were on this turtle spaceship. It shaped like a turtle, and we went from the moon back to Earth, or was it from Earth to moon? I don't know which direction it was, but whatever, we were in space, and on top of the shelf of the shell of the turtle spaceship was like a dome, and I was outside there a little bit like Leonardo DiCaprio on the ship of the Titanic, like the king of the world, and Shelly, my turtle girlfriend, was with me there. And it was so romantic. We flew. We were on this spaceship to fly around the space, and I had to bang her there. And so she was in front of me. I banged her from behind, and it was beautiful.
That's how turtles bang. I mean,
yeah, it was
all animals are doing it like that. You actually had a pet turtle, so you're actually quite an expert on knowing how they bang, because your pet turtle fucked your shoes all the time.
It's not romantic at all.
Yeah. Did you say your pet turtle fucked your shoes?
Yeah.
And like.
Yeah, and
came all over him and
came over and their whole cloac came out. It's like a sea out of turtle sperm and everything else, like pee and shit. And
you had a pet turtle that fucked your shoes, and then you used it in D&D.
You never recognized my turtle banged your shoe or so? No.
I didn't live with you when you had the turtle, dude, and I'm thankful for it.
That's true.
I lived with you post-turtle era.
What's the post-turtle era?
My shoes never got fucked.
Was crazy, but that's normal what turtles do. Like when they are like at humans, it's not normal for turtles normally.
But I made that story with I wanted that subplot with your, because you play a turtleoid, a turtle essentially. That's the 5e lingo, a turtle, but in my 2E world they call it the turtleoid.
A Kren, I think,
But
or Ken.
it is a turtle. But either way, whatever.
Whatever.
You have a turtle humanoid,
turtle
and
humanoid.
I wanted to have a cool turtle humanoid love story, a romance story. Because I that's what I'm saying.
And
For me at my
Shelley-
gaming table, I want a fucking romance in a game.
And Shelley is gone now. She went back to the moon. No, not to the moon. To other
she
realm.
went to the Forgotten Realms,
To
dude.
the Forgotten Realms, because
Yeah.
we don't play in the Forgotten Realms, and I miss her so much, and blah blah blah. But yeah, it's a really romantic story. It's so nice that you brought it up, and I really digged into it. You know, like it's so cool. It's
I
so
love
cool.
that. I would always want that to be welcome at a table, and I also
Totally.
think I just it spices it up. It's really cool. And in our case, it was comedic
Totally.
turtle fucking on a spaceship.
Dude, your character in My Little Campaign by Roan
Yeah.
has also this fucking crazy romantic story, and not really like just romantic, but he has a wife, and she got like bitten by a vampire or slain by a vampire, and that's why he became a vampire slayer.
Yeah,
So
but
it's also like, you know, like it's all about love and blah blah blah. And then because of that, I will come to this other point of like charming people, you know, in the game, you know, like
how vampires do that.
like what vampires do, you know.
oh, but dude, forget about that character. I want to talk about. I was totally excited to talk about this, but me when me and Felix play in your campaign,
Nice.
this is so
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
because
true.
we are good friends and we know each other well enough that we're all kind of have this lighthearted sense of humor about shit. You know, a very 20th century style enjoyment of life that apparently is no longer a thing. But like, so. Our characters fuck the shit out of each other.
True.
And
I forgot about that a little bit. But
Yeah,
true.
he had, but we hammed it up and did the full on, like, we were two players in your campaign, me and our friend Felix, and Felix was playing a lizard man fighter, and I was playing an elven wizard, like a
Fortune
sexy
teller.
young woman, and they fucked the living balls off each other. We were just making fucking jokes about it, and like the lizard tongue, and you know, and it was so much fun. It was so funny.
Yeah, because it's friends, you know, you can do
Yeah.
that. And with Felix, shout out again, so cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm
with-
saying,
with
dude.
him,
I love it. I love
yeah.
that.
And just,
And I
always like talking bullshit, you know, and just, let it out, you know. It's role playing game, you know.
And
like,
I
you
love-
can do whatever you want, you know. It's so
I also
cool.
love the way we did that story because they got to know each other in your first camp, the badass like 3-day long fucking D&D game we
that
played a
was
couple years
one
ago.
of the best
It was awesome.
experience I ever had. Yeah.
And then the two characters got to know each other, and there was this will they won't they thing. Mm-hmm. Do you know will they won't they?
Yeah.
Will they won't they? You know it, yeah?
Yeah,
It's-
I think so, yeah.
It's when on a show, it's when in a story, there's two characters that have some chemistry, and
they, won't they?
the
Yeah.
viewer wants to know, will they or won't they?
Fuck. Of course.
And we really like kind of organically
And
made
that's
this
what
will they won't they
yeah,
thing.
totally.
And
And that's
then-
what I felt as a DM. Like, will they? Won't they? So-
Yeah, I mean, I was playing a horny-
And the cool thing about that was it was totally up to you, you both, because it's your characters. You can do whatever you want. You know, like
Yeah.
it was not really in my hands. I mean, I could do like something if I want to, but no, let Felix and Jake decide what they want to do. You know, like it's their role. It's their
Well, yeah, that's
character,
D&D,
so-
And yeah,
and that's
the players
all,
often
it's
have a lot of interaction
so
that's not
cool,
guided
yeah.
by the DM.
Yeah, but I mean, I could like push it, you know, like, oh yeah, and then there comes like,
Then there comes a guy who says, you should totally fuck that fucking lizard.
Oh no, I want to be romantic. There comes this little angel with the arrow, with a bow, and it shoots at you, and
Oh,
shoots at you.
Cupid.
Oh no, and the lizard is dead.
Shit, I rolled a one.
I rolled a one into your heart.
You were supposed to fuck, but you killed him.
Dude, I wanted to tell other story about my history of D&D also. If it's cool.
Oh, but let me finish that
Okay.
tale because
I thought it was finished already. Okay.
the thing is that when that session ended, we hadn't banged yet, and then you brought back another session a few months later, and we met up again and played, and then me and Felix were like, what happened with our characters after this?
True.
And
that
then-
was at the hills then, right?
Yeah, we decided we were. Then we became like the lords of the city after we got defeated your first adventure, and then we were like, and I was like, we had this discussion like, did our characters bang? Like, what happened? And then Felix was like, yeah, dude, it'd be fucking hilarious, right? And like we just talked about it. I'm like, yeah, let's say they fucked. And then when we played the next session, we really hammed it up. And it was like, but it was beautiful because it was like really an episodic thing where the first episode was the will they, won't they? And then the next one was like, okay, they did. And now here's what's happening, you know? It was so badass.
Now I remember it, right?
But that's the kind of thing where like you don't get to do that if you are with a group of people that you just met
strangers.
on the fucking internet or whatever.
Totally.
And then if you try and do it sometimes, like people are just being weird.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's just not very fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
You know?
That's true. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why. You know, like because they are ashamed or something like that, and feeling like when we have sex, like in the fantasy world, does it mean that he's horny about me in the real world?
And sometimes maybe they are. You know, sometimes there's creepy dudes that are like.
When there is a girl in the group, there's never girls in groups, right?
That's a very 90s thing to say. But yeah. Now there is. Nowadays, there's a lot of them. That's why
that's luck also.
You do, no matter, it could be girls or guys, but like someone may be made uncomfortable by the idea and like being like, oh, and there are probably people that do that because I work in also as an improv actor, and I've been in, you know, many years ago, not here in Berlin, but like there were situations where there was like people that would be in the improv group, and sometimes there's like people who are in improv groups or D&D groups or any place where you're acting or role playing, and they are actually using it as a vehicle to try and bang someone, kind of, you know?
Yeah, of course.
And then, you kind of got to watch out for that, you know? It's not cool. And it ruins the fun. But that happens, so, like, that's why when you Google all this romance in the table thing, that's why it says, like, hey, look, you know, that might make someone uncomfortable and stuff. But that's why, for me, D&D, what I love about it is just hang out with your friends.
Yes.
It's, like, not... I don't want to. I don't have as much fun when I go.
I mean, in this special situation with Felix and you, I mean, he is not gay. You are not gay. He plays a boy. You plays a girl. So it was maybe easier, you know, if Felix would be a girl.
Well, everybody's a little bit gay.
For sure. I think everybody is a little bit bisexual, for sure. You know, like dolphins.
It's gonna get fucking. Controversial,
but whatever. I wanted to bring up this story of my childhood group, you know, where a person, a guy who I played with, Peter is his name. He was not in love with the other character or so, but in love as a person into his own character. He loved his own character so much, you know. So, and I brought him into a situation,
like in a narcissistic way or like in a schizophrenic way.
What is both of them in English? I don't know.
Oh, narcissistic meaning like he loves himself, and schizophrenic like he has two personalities, and one of them's him as a player, and one of them's his character.
Now, it's at first it had nothing to do with sex or so. It's just like I love my character because I had so much experience with him. I don't want that he dies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, this way. So
yeah, I think I know that feeling.
Yeah. So as I have with my character Rico, for example, you know, like I
will TPK the shit out of you if you fuck me.
Fuck you. And I brought this group into like the situation of the movie Saw. You know the movie Saw, the first movie?
Yeah. I've never seen it, but I know the premise.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and they even don't know the movie also in this in this situation. So it was the first movie. There was like they had to cut off their own food because there was chained on the wall, and there was no possibility with this rusty saw to cut off your own food. And he had to do it, you know, and he did it like in the movie, and I pushed him to it. I said, yeah, really, really mean situation and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, he did it, and
brutal.
He was like really, really brutal stuff. And he was really like really fucked up, not because of fuck you, Flo, as a DM that you lead me to it, that to do it. No, he was really fucked up because he loved his character so much. He was like, I don't want to lose my food. It's so horrible, blah, blah, blah. But I have to do it to be free. And then he cut his food and he roleplayed so well because he felt it. You know, it was like, what the fuck? He really loves this game. He really loves this character and was like, cool. That's D&D and love, you know, into your character. And of course, after it, it's a fantasy world. You can heal and the food will grow again or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know.
It's like nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happens.
Magic. Boom.
But in this situation was like, and then I explained them where I got this idea from, to, where they are and blah, blah, blah. And then they, what the fuck? And then we watched Saw after it and I was like, what, Flo? If Psycho games. I say, yeah, it's totally Psycho, and you played with me. Super cool. And yeah, it's because he was so in his role and in love to his character and his role. So, and I don't know, as we planned this episode, that was the first thought what came to my mind, like this old story of my friend who loves his own character so much, So there's also a second story where a character was like, I can't handle it anymore, I have to make suicide. It's also because of love of his own character in the world is horrible and blah, blah, blah. So I kill myself as a character. It's also crazy, but that's the other story, and I don't get into that too much, but it's also kind of because I love my character so much, I have to kill myself. It's also crazy, Like, it's
And then
also
your friend
possible.
killed himself, and you realize it was Tom Hanks all along.
Oh no, damn it. How late is it, dude? Is it time for a break already?
Time for break.
Yeah, okay. Before the break, I have to tell you something.
Okay, normally we say some stupid little one-liner right before the break, but
Today's
today was
different.
special
Yeah.
because it's the love episode.
Yeah.
So you're going to give the stupid one-liner, but then I'm going to do a thing, a big thing, a dramatic
wow.
thing,
Oh, wow.
a different thing.
Oh, wow.
Spice it up.
Oh wow. We said in the beginning who will start with that, and then Jake told me that he has a longer thing to say.
Yeah, just do the thing.
And I have a
boring,
small
who
thing,
cares?
and I was like, okay, mine is a little bit silly, but it's also true. I just wanted to say, Jake, I love you.
I suspected that might be it.
Yeah, for sure.
I love you too, homie.
Man.
Yo! That's very homoerotic. We gave each other a little high five. Let's do a cheers, do a prost.
Oh yeah, wait, I have to open
Because,
my-
seriously, you saw another beer.
And it's also my last beer already.
I always got your back, dude. I brought you a lot of beer.
Yeah, we have now Patreons. We have now 2 Patreons. I love our 2 Patreons, like Nick and your papa now. Wow. Lovely
Yeah,
greets,
you don't
father.
have to tell everyone that. Okay.
Is it
I don't know, I didn't really. I was kind of hoping we wouldn't publicly say my dad is the patron giving us money
I'm sorry.
for this podcast. It's really
It's your-
embarrassing.
It's your Taschengeld.
Oh well, whatever.
But
dude.
we
You just did it, so that's it.
we will
We're
buy
gonna own
beer.
it.
We will buy beer with the Taschengeld. It's your Taschengeld. You know what Taschengeld is?
We have 2 Patreons. One's my dad. I love my dad.
I love your dad too.
There you go.
Because you give
That's
us money
actually
now.
quite on topic, actually.
Yeah.
I do
But
love him.
What is Taschengeld in German? I don't know. In English.
Pocket change.
Pocket change?
I think so.
It's what you get as a kid from your parents, you know?
Oh, an allowance.
An allowance.
An allowance.
An allowance, okay? Like, hey, you get $50.
Let's not be too condescending, you motherfucker.
Now it's your thing before the break. I'm really, really curious about that.
So I just love on the topic of romance in D&D. I think that this idea of the romance in the fantasy world was kind of in many ways born from the fucking romantic literature movement. So I just love romantic literature from the Romantics, and I thought about doing a piece from the Wanderings of Oisin because I love Ireland and that's an Irish myth and it's about but instead I chose complete opposite, an English guy.
Okay. So bring up a poem, no? Or?
Yeah, so I'm going to read a poem.
Okay.
About that I think really highlights the idea of romance in the fantasy world. Mm-hmm. So this is
cool.
and it's called La Belle Dame Sans Merci. Mm-hmm. Do you know this poem?
No.
Okay, so it's by John Keats, and fun fact, there's a German band called Faun. You know those guys?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so
we talked about them.
on our music episode.
Yeah.
And Faun is they're like a pagan Celtic medieval
it's a fable
German
creature.
band.
Mm-hmm.
But they do all this like medieval fantasy songs, and they actually do this as a song.
Ah, nice.
It's rad. And they do it in German.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Maybe then I know it.
they translate it into German. I forget which album it's on.
Okay.
But it's such a popular, famous
You have to
romantic
put that,
poem.
like, if it's possible, on Insta too.
Yeah, we'll do it on Insta.
Like with,
It is
with the
possible.
pictures. If
Anything
there's
is possible
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Instagram.
If there's fawn also with this
Yeah.
with this song, that would be great.
Yeah, for sure,
rad
dude.
and
So
great.
check out on our Instagram, and you can hear the song. And but they translate to German.
Yeah.
It's really cool. When I saw that, I was just nerd boner and out. But this is the original by John Keats, and it's about. It's totally fucking D&D, dude. It is about a knight who is a virtuous, like a paladin type character, say. He goes into the woods, and then he's kind of seduced by this elven woman, which it's a hardcore femme fatale motif. And it's like dryads or nymphs and that kind of shit, which is these femme fatale archetypes as D&D characters or monsters or humanoids, whatever you call it. And so yeah, it's about this knight. It's got two voices. There's a narrator and the knight's voice, and so it's been a favorite of mine for. I mean, ever since I was like went to university and studied this stupid ass. Useless bullshit in my 20s, and I love it. So this is La Belle Dame Sans Merci.
Okay.
The Beautiful Woman Without Mercy.
Okay.
By John Keats.
I'm stoked. I'm listening.
And I thought I'd take it again as a little twist. We're intentionally stupid people on this podcast, but I want to.
You are, me not.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're just burping all the time.
I'm just
it's
burping
different.
and saying retarded things.
But I wanted, because this is our love and romance episode, I kind of wanted to
make it romantic.
Do
Should I
something
put
no,
on my mic?
whatever do you want to do?
Like the last time?
I don't care. Here you go.
Okay. Cheers.
La Belle Dame Sans Merci by John Keats. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woe-begone? The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest's done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew. And on thy cheeks a fading rose fast withereth too. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a fairy's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, a fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, made sweet moan. I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For sidelong would she bend and sing a fairy's song. She found me roots of relish sweet, and honey wild, and manna dew. And sure, in strange language she said, I love thee. True. She took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore, and there I shut her wild, wild eyes with kisses four. And there she lulled me to sleep, and there I dreamed. Ah, woe betide! The latest dream I ever dreamt on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes, too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La belle dame sans merci, thee hath in thrall. I saw their starved lips in the gloam, with horrid warning gaped wide. And I awoke and found me here, on the cold hill's side. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. And we're back.
Woo-woo. Ed, how was it?
What?
I don't know, the P.
I thought it was. I was talking about the poem or the peeing that we did on the break.
Yeah. Both. The poem was beautiful.
I enjoyed reading the poem.
Wow, you did a beautiful dude. And I never listened to it before, and I want to listen to Fawn now. And
Yeah.
They do it in German.
Yeah, it's rad, dude.
Super cool. Sounds pretty nice.
I love
man.
Found.
I mean, all the English words, some of them I don't understood what you said, but
Yeah, because it's
feels
old
like-
English too,
yeah.
so it's kind of like woe betide. What the fuck does that mean?
But I hope most of our listeners will understand what you said there, and it just feels like
Probably not. Most of them are from Germany.
Like tears in my eyes. No, it's not. Yeah, it's on Spotify. I don't know on YouTube. Guys, please go in contact with us. That would.
Who are you?
I would love to talk to you guys. I mean, we talk about love. I would love to talk about. With you, I mean, I would love to talk with you.
Sounds like you're hitting on our listeners, dude.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
Depends on who they are.
German word.
Oh yeah. After
German-
our break, we always do a little. We have a tradition here on the Hack and Slash AD&D2E podcast where after the break we give a German translation of an English word that's related to our topic.
After 9 episodes, it's already a tradition.
Yeah, I mean, when
Sure
did it
it
become I think after 3 is something's a tradition.
Is it so? I don't know.
I think
my,
so.
My line is so flat. I hope people can see me.
Get
No,
close.
I'm close enough.
Whatever, dude. We got it.
Yeah.
That's why we have a guy who helps us with our editing.
This
Look,
guy has a name, but we don't have to mention that.
we will
And
just talk about him for 10 minutes like we did already. We love you, Michael. Thanks for editing. Now let's move on to this fucking segment.
Okay, German word.
Yeah.
You start with English word. Now, how is it working always? I forgot about.
Luck charm.
Luck charm.
We talk a lot about love on this instead of luck.
Yeah, but
Why do we think we could do 2 topics in one episode? We're so dumb. We don't know ourselves
but
well
love
enough.
is luck and whatever.
That's why they call it getting lucky. Oh.
Glücksbringer.
Glücksbringer.
Glücksbringer. Glück. It's
Luck
it's
charm.
Yeah, luck is Glück.
Glück.
Glück. It's this U with 2 points. Glück.
Yeah, umlaut. For those sophisticated motherfuckers amongst y'all.
And bringer, it's to bring. You know, the Glücksbringer.
It's literally translated as the luck bringer.
Yeah.
But
right.
like a rabbit's foot and stuff, or like a clover, a 4-leaf
Whatever.
clover.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever brings
That's
you
the-
luck, you know, like whatever you think brings you luck. If it's like the number 6 or the number 7 or the number 1, whatever, you know, like, or is it the 15 or is it a foot of a rabbit or is it like a sweet leaf Kleeblatt? As we think in German it is.
My
You know?
Lucky Charms is like, I'm sorry, I just thought of this stupid ass fucking cereal, Lucky Charms, that's in the U.S.
What is it?
It's like a kid's cereal, full of poison, and as the kids' cereals in the U.S. are, and poison marshmallows. And there's this spokes leprechaun, which is I don't know if they still. I wonder if they still have Lucky around now. I should have looked that up. I didn't know. I just thought of it now. Like, I wonder if Lucky Leprechaun's still a thing. I mean, he's a very racist stereotype for Irish people.
Oh, I had a dog named Lucky. Oh.
I have, speaking of
Lucky
Irish
Charm.
shit, though.
You have your Lucky Charm
I have
with
my
you.
Lucky Charm here, and it's
what is it?
Irish. I got it in Ireland when I traveled there 11 years ago with my friend who we were kind of in a acoustic rock duo. We played some music around Ireland. We went to this site where there was this dude dressed like a druid, and it was this ancient stone, one of these standing stones, you know, like a really kind of
nice.
sacred place in Ireland, dude.
yeah.
Like, again, in real life, in the real world, a beautiful thing that inspires the fantasy and imagination because of how cool that is. And he chiseled out my name in the old Irish script in Ogam.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's like...
Runes, mine.
Yeah, it's like Irish runes, and they're these little lines that were etched in stones around Ireland by people recording different things. And so in Ogam here is my name chiseled in this little necklace in a silver necklace.
Nice.
And it's my little luck charm,
Yeah.
and I carry it around in my wallet. And I think
sweet.
a lot of people do that. And even in 5th edition D&D. They have, again, as we talked about in the podcast, like 5th edition is a lot more like a template whereas second edition is like you use your imagination, do whatever you want. But the template, like, so in second edition, it's like, does your character have a luck charm or something? I don't know. It's up to you. You decide. But in like fifth edition, they're like,
There's a
your
real
character is
rule,
carrying
so,
a luck charm,
and it makes
Here,
that and that.
roll on a table. Here's what it is.
I see.
For me, that's my real world luck charm now. Is my name in the Olang scripts.
For me, I always have I don't know. I think I'm autistic a little bit. You know, like
Yeah, we both are, I suppose. That's why we're doing this
I
podcast.
think I have every day or like every week a different luck charm. But what I really do every morning before I leave home, I roll 2 dice. I have like this dice tower with 2d6.
Really?
With 2d6.
You never
in
told
it.
me that. You really do that?
I do that.
Wow, okay.
So, but since I moved there with Laura in this flat, and then we have this space there in our hallway, and I put like the dice tower there where you can roll the dice. Like it's a Cthulhu themed dice tower. It's really nice. And then I have 2d6 there. 6-sided dice there, and I roll them, and I see which number it is, you know, like, and I always want to beat myself, kind of. Sometimes I roll with Laura together, but Laura don't play this game so much with me, so I play with myself, and I always think like, yeah, cool.
I see why you love D&D more than her.
You see, so and I don't know. It's like, oh, cool. It's a 7 again. 7 is kind of the lucky number because it's with 2d6. It's like in math. You roll at least you roll the most a 7.
Yeah,
with
it's the
2d6.
most. Yeah, with 2d6,
Of
it's
course.
the most
Yeah,
rolled
because
number. Yeah. Like in Settlers of Catan, it's the.
Yeah, because of
thief.
the 6, the 6 is opposite of the 1, and the 5 is opposite of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So blah blah. So you roll a 7 most of the times, and when I roll a 7, it's like, oh, cool. But sometimes I roll a double 6 or double 1, or like when I roll a double, it's also like, oh, cool. That
Snake Eye.
Snake eyes. That means something, you know. Like it's cool. I have always a feeling with the numbers, but sometimes even not good feelings or like whatever feelings, like, oh, it's a 5. I don't care, you know. I mean, I love the 5 with 1 dice, but with 2 dice, a 5, it makes no sense to me. I don't know. So, but
Full on autism, dude.
yeah, totally. And today I
don't mean that as an insult because I respect autistic people.
I know.
That sounds like it, homie.
You know, we both respect retarded people, you know. So
I can
or
respect
handy-
anybody who's not
Of course.
voting for Donald Trump. I don't respect them.
To explain to people again.
Fuck fascists. Other than that, you're cool.
That I say retarded means not that I don't respect retarded people. You know, like I work with retarded people. So
Okay, we don't want to get into that too
whatever.
much.
But today I bought like this gray.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I called him a gray Walter. And that's a gray miniature, and I keep him gray and just painted his eyes. And it's like a fish figure. And I love this Shawagin from AD&D. That's why I bought this book today again. And that's like a fish figure. And he is kind of my lucky charm all the day and all the time. You know, like I don't know. I love just like this, how he's shaped. And he's kind of my lucky charm. But yeah, I have always different lucky charms. Sometimes it's a stone with good shape in my hand and feels good. Sometimes it's like Gamera, this kaiju from Godzilla figure, what I have. Yeah, I have always like different lucky charms. But I have always a coin in my pocket I forgot about. Like a Nurgle Death Guard coin I have in my pocket from Games Workshop. True. And that's always my lucky charm. Yeah, I'm fucking...
Nice. No, but so you got the fantasy, like...
Totally.
Yeah, you're fully cross-pollinating the fantasy with the reality in terms of lucky charms.
I'm totally a magic thinking guy, you know, like...
Yeah, me too, man.
I love
By the
it.
way, folks, feel free to check out my tarot page.
Oh,
Jake's
yeah.
Tarot. I read the
He
tarot
is
cards.
so good in that.
So,
And it's so much fun to...
Just reminded me
let
I
him-
do a
yeah.
thing.
Let him tell you your own future.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'm into it. I love all that, the divine, mystique, stuff. Like, it's cool, man. Like,
Super cool.
I'm really into that, the world. I meditate not every morning, but most mornings, when I'm able to get away with it and I'm not too hungover, I have a little, meditation session and
So
I read my own
good.
cards
Oh,
and
so good.
I have a relationship with the tarot and with I have like a little altar with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
This is like a
It's
very
like-
common
it's-
thing for West Coast
It's
US
like
hippie people.
Laura have that also, you know.
Yeah.
Like she's also meditating every morning, but really like more like Buddhism kind of style. So,
Oh, speaking of Buddhism, dude, this book I have over here is the Dharma of the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And to bring it back to Princess Bride, dude,
Yeah.
how influential this story was, this medieval fantasy D&D style story. This dude fucking wrote a book about it, and he's like a Buddhist monk in New York.
Okay.
And he's got like all these little anecdotes and advice, and he takes all the characters of this story and kind of discusses like how they relate to Buddhism. It's fucking brilliant. It's been a while since I read it, but
okay.
I thought as long as I'm bringing Princess Bride, you can see the on the cover. I'll put it on Insta because we took some photos, but there's just the 6-fingered hand with the heart, because there's a character in the Princess Bride, the 6-fingered man.
Oh, okay.
And they have to find him. He's like the main villain. So it's
Also retarded.
See, that's mean. That doesn't seem respectful, homie.
It's not. It's NPC. I'm sorry.
It's technically the word's deformed anyway. So,
True.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're gonna cost us all our listeners. Like, whatever. So
Just
this is,
one.
all one of them. My dad. He's gonna be like, I'm done with you.
Oh, come on.
So like,
At least you give us his money.
he will keep giving his money. I just won't listen to it anymore because you're being really. Anyway, look, this is
What's more important, Adam?
the Dharma of the Princess Bride.
Yes.
And this guy, it's so beautiful the way that he ties in Buddhism with the Princess Bride.
Okay.
But that's what I'm talking about with these parallels that you can draw with fantasy stories and fantasy reality and connect them to like real ideas, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
One of the best real books, nonfiction books I've read. I remember I read it a few years ago when it was quite helpful to me, and it's totally badass. I think there's just this Buddhist monk in New York. I think his dad was like friends with the writer of Princess Bride, so like he kind of has a relationship with the guy who wrote the story.
Is that this thing about like gods, you know, like Buddha and blah blah blah, brings me to like the Forgotten Realms, goddess of love, Sune or Sune. I don't know if you know the English name of it. Like in German is Sune. Sune.
Okay.
So, and she is a goddess of love, and she's beautiful. Maybe you can pass me like, or you don't have to. But there was like a picture of her, like how priestess of her.
Is it on the front of this Forgotten Realms?
No, it's not on the front, but inside of this book there are like.
We don't want to spend time on this podcast living through books, but we'll show it on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and she's like the goddess of love and lust, and she's living on the realm or living in the realm of love or something like that. And she is like about beauty and bringing people together, you know, like, and I just thought about her right now because of Buddha and goddess and gods. So I thought I bring her up. I also had that in my note to talk about like a little bit about gods of love, and spells of love, you know, like the charm spells. And also, like before the break, we talk about
charm spells are more like rape spells, though.
It's kind of.
It's more like rape. We had this discussion. Like it was so funny when we first started playing our campaign, and then like my wife was playing with it at the time. And she's like, "What the fuck is charm person? Is that just a rape spell, dude?" And I'm like, I never thought about it like that, but yeah, you know, like
I mean, but
imagine if that was a real like. That's horrible. That's why Gambit from the X-Men is no longer popular. It's a full-on '90s thing. Like, the idea that like a male can just cast a magic spell to fucking charm you. But on that token, I mean. Did the elf lady in La Belle Sans Dame Merci rape this night? I don't know.
I mean,
by the way, we don't do trigger warnings, folks.
we don't. It's 90s. So
we're not lame. Or are we? Maybe we are because we don't. Whatever. You decide.
I mean, vampires. You know, like with this.
Vampires are rapey as fuck.
Yeah, but they don't really charm to fuck the others.
They just want to stick their fangs in your neck, quote unquote.
Yeah. But in fantasy
Again,
world,
these fantasy metaphors.
Yeah, for sure. So, but in the fantasy world, it's just like sucking your blood out, you know, like so, and survive. That's the thing, you know, like they charm you to survive, you know?
Oh, dude, yeah, the sexuality of the vampires, though, that's like, there's been
and they were so romantic and so
countless,
beautiful and blah, blah. So, yeah, I really love that. And I love the charm spell also in our campaign, you know, like...
If you're not using it to do sexual things with a person, instead just to manipulate them to go and fight someone or otherwise it's still horrible. It's still psychologically manipulative. It's still unethical, and it's still in every way, shape, and form bad. But it's not quite as bad as if you're going to fuck someone with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Or is it? Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's still like...
we have to talk to an ethicist, I guess.
Like
I don't know.
KO drop, you know? It's like... It's kind of
it's like GHB date rape drug. It's like magic date rape drug. It's horrible.
So. It's
Nobody
horrible.
wants... Yeah,
you know,
it's
like,
fucking really bad.
It's without that you want it, you know? Like...
Is
ping! They put a spell on you.
Put
a spell on
is there
you.
still charm person in 5th edition? Because like 5th edition's all like woke now and stuff, and like they're editing out all the things that are problematic.
Really interesting question.
No, I'm wondering is like the charm.
They so PC that they thought about that.
Yeah, they're not allowing orcs to be inherently evil anymore.
So why is there?
Is there still a goddamn charm person spell? I mean, come on.
And vampires can still use it or what? So to fuck you?
Yeah, dude. Like,
so
are vampires now PC? And they're like, excuse me, sir, but I noticed that you have a lot of blood in you. May I have permission to consensually bite your neck? Because I could look into your eyes and just do it, but I will not, because that is wrong.
I think you...
and then all of a sudden, D&D is just a stupid bullshit thing and not fun anymore.
Yeah. But that brings me to, like, other topic in this topic, like this, that D&D developed kind of like other role-playing systems, you know? And that's why I love D&D so much again, you know? Like I think D&D was like the start point of role-playing game systems, and with D&D, other role-playing game systems developed.
Yeah, well, check out episode X, I forget which number, but we talked about that a lot.
Yeah. And that's why I love D&D also so much, you know, like D&D, D&D the thing, you know.
It's my third beer, woo-woo.
Cheers! D&D is like really like the start point of RPGs, and that's why I love D&D also so much. I don't know. It's just random.
I'm going to bring this into the home stretch, homie, with our little discussion here on this podcast. We always go like way longer than we think, so if you're still listening, thanks for hanging in there, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast, guys.
Yeah, same.
But I do want to like kind of bring my roten Faden to a conclusion.
Yeah.
So, did you ever watch that Black Mirror episode?
All of them?
Season 5, episode 1, Striking Vipers, about the two guys who are playing video games and then they fuck each other with their video game characters.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so for the listeners, if you haven't heard it, the premise is the
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Okay, we don't do trigger warnings, but I do spoiler alerts. So that's where our priorities are.
More important.
Oh my god, dude, this is a very 90s podcast. But like,
hello, AD&D 2E podcast hack and slash. Welcome.
Not giving much a shit about your feelings, but don't want you to have a story ruined.
Yeah. When you want to watch it, don't listen to it yet. Okay, tell me.
Priorities. We don't really care about your mental health, but we do care about your enjoyment of entertainment more.
Yeah, I think that's more important.
It is, honestly. I mean, I don't know.
Come on.
Like,
so now people skip it if you didn't watch that episode. Now tell me what you want to tell me about.
In that episode, it's about these two guys who are playing Street Fighter 2, essentially.
Yeah.
And then it's like this game where you can become the character in the game, and it's like a VR thing where you're like, then you are living as the character in the game. Mm-hmm. And there's a female sexy character a la Chun-Li, and then there's like a sexy kind of Asian guy like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat. And they both play as these characters, and then they start fucking. Yeah. They like they're fighting, and then they land on each other, and then they're just like fucking, and then it brings like the point, like all this when you are role playing, like with me and Felix, are role playing, and I'm playing as this sexy elf girl, and he's playing as this lizard man fighter, and then our characters are fucking, and we're hamming it up and having fun with it. Like, the question is, like, and the question is in that episode of Black Mirror, which is why that show's fucking brilliant, is like, would you be doing that if that was an available option for you? You know, if you and your friends are playing role playing games.
Thoughts about that.
Everybody's thought about it.
At least a man. I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, I can't speak for women because I'm just a stupid man.
Yeah.
But
also women are horny, you know, like fuck off, you know, like everybody wants to fuck, everybody wants to have sex, everybody wants to love.
If you could like really plug yourself into the character of the role playing game you're playing, or the video game you're playing, or whatever game you're playing, if you could like, would you, and here it is, here's the penultimate question. Maybe it's the ultimate question. I don't know the difference between those two things. My English isn't good.
I thought my English is not good.
Yeah, I'm just an idiot. Yeah, but like, I want to ask you.
You are just a US guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not British. Okay, I'm just.
Your English is different. Your English is not from. There's no roots in this English.
I grew up in Idaho. I get a free pass on being a moron.
It's just city. It's just city English.
I grew up in like the dumbest state in fucking the US, outside of Alabama.
Alabama.
Like I did. If me and you were playing a game and the technology became available, and one of us was a super hot chick and the other one was a bang, yeah, okay,
of course,
yeah,
no question, dude. We would have so much fun, dude.
I'd be rad
for sure.
But that's the question that the Black Mirror, maybe the Black Mirror episode kind of asks is like, is like. Does that mean that are those guys gay? Are we gay? Like, would we fuck each other? Are we not fucking each other because we're in the real world and we're men and we're not attracted to each other's bodies?
I don't care, you know, that's VR. And as I said before the break, I think everybody is a little bit bisexual at least, you know?
I'm the one who said that.
I know, you said everybody is gay a little bit.
A little bit gay.
And I said everybody is a little bit bisexual.
Either way, whatever, dude. Yeah, I'm not into those nuances.
People
90s NPC.
Humans love humans, whatever. If there's a dick or a vagina or whatever, you know, like fuck off. And if you are a hot chick there in the game and I'm a hot guy, come on, of course I will bang you. And otherwise, you know, why not?
Yeah.
I honestly get horny about that right now.
What?
No.
Okay, now I'm uncomfortable. Jesus Christ.
Turn off the mic.
Dude. That's porn music impression, by the way.
Dude, other thing what I love. Other thing what I love about the game and about this podcast and about life is to making gifts. So I have a little gift again.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, but it's just a little one. But I just found it because I cleaned up my room a little bit. And I found a little mini. It's original packed. And it has a cool name. So, yeah, I wanted to give it to you.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the thing is, man, you like... bring me gifts every episode, and I kind of do it like some episodes. So
not every episode, but
you do it every episode. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I think you really are like into me, dude.
Yeah, then it's a theme.
But dude, Jakob Knockengard.
That's Jacob.
I know.
Yeah,
Jakob is Jacob, dude. My German's not that bad.
Yeah, but from the people. From the people who are listening.
Oh, right, the listeners.
Yeah, it's the listeners. Don't know.
Jakob is German for Jacob, and my name is Jake, and it's short for Jacob. So yeah, that's cool, dude. Well, this guy's like a fucking headhunter.
Yeah.
I see he has a sword in one hand and a head in the other, and a fucking turned down hat, sort of a la Van Helsing or Tolliver. I've been reading early Deadpool comics. I don't know. That's an obscure reference.
He also has a pistol on his belt.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, but I think he's like a vampire hunter or something. So I thought about you, and I just saw the name, and I was like, yeah, cool.
Dude, that's so, yeah, full-on vampire hunter vibes.
Yeah, nice.
Except the head, like, yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
Dude, super badass.
Yeah. And I love to make gifts, you know. I love to get gifts, of course. Who not? But I love to give gifts, you know. And
yeah,
I love these like.
Actually, I was thinking about this in the past couple of weeks, dude. About you. I'm gonna break down some fucking psychological profiling for our listeners right now. But I always have known you as this kind of like, well, in a very German way, kind of a stingy person. Not like, so Germans, dude, I'm so, like, you know, there's some things that are just negative stereotypes that are true about cultures. Germans are stingy people, dude.
What's stingy?
Like penny pinching, like miserly,
for
like,
sure. Yeah, for
like,
sure.
like,
It's not me.
it's on, no, it's all over the internet. Just go look at memes and comedy. Like,
And it's true. It's true.
the-
Yeah.
German-
Just like turning the coins around before they
when Germans split a bill,
like,
when they split a bill and it's €5 at the table, and one person owes €2.16, and the other person owes €2.84,
then give him
then they
rest.
are like, you give me that 84 cents, you know?
yeah,
And that's
for
a
sure.
meme that I'm paraphrasing. Like, the idea that
And
Germans are just
it's
so
not wrong.
ridiculously penny pinching. And to be fair, the government here takes so much of your money, and also other agencies and all sorts of people steal your money here
all
legally.
about rules, you know.
So,
it's all about
I get it,
playing by the books, you know.
Yeah,
like,
everybody in Germany is always trying to steal each other's money legally. And so, and it works, and they
And
do.
that works, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
like it's
yeah,
the government here steals your money.
Fuck you, bitches.
And so,
fuck you, AfD,
like,
by the way.
hardcore, like stealing money. Yeah, I love that. Like, speaking of tangent, but like the AfD, like there's these farmers who are protesting in Germany right now, and they're protesting against the idea that their subsidies are going to get taken away, and then they're going to vote AfD, but the AfD is also for having their subsidies taken away, and that shows that the German farmers are literally retarded. I used the word, I'm sorry, but it's true. Anyway,
Yeah, they were just
like,
folk people, you know.
yeah,
and
they're just
don't
they don't understand that, like,
think about
just like the Trump people in the U.S. they also don't understand the government's going to fuck them if they
They don't
vote
look around
Trump.
the corner,
they
you
don't.
know. They don't look around one corner. It's
They-
just one corner, and they don't look around that.
Well, they
you
don't
know,
understand that, like, one person that's going to fuck them is if they go for a different person.
Come on,
they don't
they
understand
have-
that other person's also
They
going to
have
fuck them.
alternative and German in their in their name, so they must be good. Yeah, and it's blue. don't know
Okay, yeah, I
what
know
that
it is.
means.
The blue is that's a contrast between Trump people and AfD people. The Trump people are red and the AfD people are blue, but they're all fascists and Nazis. So it's kind of weird. It's like, why are their colors different?
Dude, we have to make a picture of my button here. Fuck off. AfD,
so-
whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a little tangent, like I mentioned, but like, dude, the point is that,
Yeah,
like,
where was the point? I
the
forgot.
point is that you are often, in my experience, quite just very typical as a German person in that you're very you're noting every single thing that you're spending, and you seem a little bit like, oh, I owe this for that, and you know, a little bit penny pinching, a little bit miserly,
Okay.
but
I didn't realize
but
that
what's
for
weird
myself.
about that is,
Okay.
like, dude, you it's different with you because you give people gifts a lot.
Yeah, I love to.
So it's so
give
crazy
gifts.
because you are like, oh, dude, I have to like really look out for every euro here. But then there's like this kindness in your heart where like it breaks through that fucking facade, and you're like, I love this person so much, and I know they will like this thing, and the joy that you get from giving a person a gift,
Yeah.
like breaks through and supersedes any of that fucking cultural bullshit.
Yeah.
And I
Thanks,
love
bro.
that about you, dude. And I love it so much. And it's something I really noticed. And I'm like, dude, you're saving up for a 4-month vacation right now that you're going to take, and you got an extra side job to do it. And you're
In
still
Jurassic World.
in Jurassic World. Don't promote it. Don't bring more people. But you still bought me a gift,
Of course. Yeah.
dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's love.
Yeah, that's love.
That's fucking love.
That's love. And yeah, I don't know. I love to give people, friends, gifts, you know, because I love these faces, and I love just I know myself how much I love to get gifts by myself, and I know how that feels, you know, like, and sometimes I have things in my hand and think about others, you know, like, oh, cool. And I also get like this voucher for my coworkers, and I could buy for myself, but I bought a gift for my girlfriend, for my wife, because I was like,
Is she your girlfriend or your wife? Do you better decide?
yeah, whatever. I call her my girlfriend, but she's my wife.
Clearly, you love
yeah.
D&D more. You know what to call that.
But you know,
Jesus
like
Christ.
I love to make gifts, you know, but I also love to get gifts, of course, you know, and so to be a little bit selfish also there, you know, like not really selfish, but I also have like this thing of like, yeah, it's so cool to get gifts, you know, but as an old friend of mine said to me once, Flo, you are so easy to buy a gift for, you know, it's so easy to buy you something because you are so glad about everything I could, and it sounds horrible, but he mean it in a good way. I could give you a piece of shit, and you will be like, yeah, I love it.
It does sound horrible. I don't understand.
Yeah, it was like
You're getting something from your friend.
no, it's like I could give you trash, but you still would love it because it's from me and it's from my heart. You know, and I say, yeah, it's true. You know, whatever you will give me, if it's personal, whatever, it's more important than whatever it costs. I don't care about the cost about that. You know, if it's cost $1 million or $1, whatever, I don't care. You know, it's like it's from you. So yeah, that's an important thing. And yeah, that's the same thing with gifts that I give to you or to others. And that's why I love also to build stuff, you know, like
you're like you craft things.
Yeah, this crafting stuff, you know, and give that away to friends. I love that, and that's what I also love about D&D and other games like tabletop war games, blah blah blah. That I can craft things, you know. Yeah, I also wanted to bring that into this topic today. What I love about D&D, that I can create a world. And that I can create a world with miniatures and with models, and I can craft and kit bash things. You know, that's why I bring up like little dioramas here. You know, and miniatures which I can paint. I love the creativity. Not only the writing and storytelling and map building, but also like painting minis and blah blah blah. That's what I also love about D&D. But that was not my origin. The origin, what I told you in previous episodes, was like just cinema in the mind. You know, I never played with maps when I was young. That with the maps developed like 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, you know, like it's not so long that I played with like physical maps with 3D miniatures and blah blah blah.
Even though it's kind of like your trademark now, like you're like, that's like when I think of you and as a dungeon master, it's
thing.
Like
it's my
you
thing.
are
Yeah.
cranking out the fucking art, homie.
I mean, people, when you follow me on Instagram, you will recognize that I always.
Oh yeah, why
post
don't you
things.
tell them what is your Instagram handle?
I forgot. Is that Chaos Creator? No, that's not Chaos. No, it's
stupid.
I know it's Feel Lucky Punk 1312.
People can forget their phone numbers nowadays, but they don't forget their Instagram handle.
Whatever. I'm not so into, but it's Feel Lucky Punk.
Dude, you're not so into.
I am into, but
you
I'm
are
not
into it, dude. You're
Yeah.
posting like every day.
Yeah, but I
and
don't-
they're good. It's good content, homie. Like
Thank you.
everybody,
Thank-
you guys should check out his shit.
Yeah, thank you.
Whatever it is, I don't know. What's the handle?
Fuck you. The handle is Feel Lucky Punk 1312.
Okay, there you go, dude.
Yeah. So for ACAB.
Yeah,
So
people
A-
in the know. I didn't
Yeah.
have to explain it.
Yeah, but 1312. So people don't.
Well, on that note, homie, like, we can wrap it then.
Is it? So
Yeah.
It so? Yeah. It's
We're there, dude. Yeah, like that's a good conclusory thought in the Jerry Springer way.
Yeah. Oh no.
But like, homie, that's a very 90s reference. Dude, look, here's something we never done, homie, on the podcast. What do you have a concluding thing? Are you doing anything?
Yeah.
You're looking at your notes.
Yeah, I look at my notes. The one thing was like we because we talk a lot about love, but not about luck so much. And I
We knew that would happen.
Yeah. and we talk about the lucky charm and blah blah. And I wanted to talk about like gambling and dice. That luck is always a little thing in D&D also, you know, like to have luck with rolling the dice, but that the DM has always like.
I liked your other conclusory statement better. It was much more definitive and
cool.
unifying. Let's just
True.
fucking cut this shit.
And
Let's talk about another podcast.
And the other thing is like
You know.
I love to record these.
Okay, that's cool. See, that's on point.
That's on point. You know. Yeah, that's it.
I had as usual, about 10 things I didn't talk about on my list because we are just so stupid. We just ramble on about 3 things for 30 minutes each.
Time. I don't love time.
I don't. It's so limiting.
Yes.
That's why the French anarchists shot the clocks, homie. So look, I'm gonna just say one thing before we part, and before we do our end button.
Yeah. I also have to say,
God damn, Jesus
sorry,
Christ,
I have to interrupt
what the fuck
you.
You want to do?
When we have the end button, at the end button, I have to say something. You know, we have the end button, and then I have to say one thing.
You're wasting everyone's time by speaking right now.
It's true, right?
Let's get to the point.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
It's fun to listen to us,
don't
guys. Right?
Explain what you're gonna do. Just fucking do it.
But because you have to push the button then, and then you push it too early.
Okay, you're warning me.
Yeah, I'm warning
okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's logistical. Look, dude. Let's just give each other a fucking hug right now.
Oh wow.
On the pod. It's the first time we've gotten very homoerotic in many
okay.
various ways on this podcast.
Oh God.
But I just want to give you a hug on the podcast.
Can we do it anyhow that people can listen to that?
You can't hear a hug. Here's the hug.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's good. I love you, dude.
He also gave me a kiss, and that was weird.
Yeah, but just on the
cheek kiss. But I don't know, dude.
A cheek kiss is a
whatever
friendship kiss, dude.
Yeah, well, hopefully that Black Mirror VR game will come out very soon. And
I normally give friends also a kiss on the
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
Well,
the Black Mirror VR game will probably be here in 5 years, and then we can fuck. Okay.
I hope so.
So, okay,
Dude.
so we do the button?
Yeah, we do the button.
Bah!
May you roll a natural 20 and love each other.
I like that. Yeah, dude. Everybody love each other. Please, please, please love each other.
And fuck the AfD.